Chapter 8 Charting a Course. Eric's gaze wanders off the road and out his car window up to a large pelican flying point position in a V formation of 8 birds traveling downwind. They nearly match his speed of 45 miles per hour. He guesses the enormous bird may be an older male, judging by his size and the large droopy pouch under his bill. It's amazing to see this prehistoric-looking fowl gracefully choreograph the group by alternately flapping his wings and then resting the group in well-timed glides. Eric lowers his attention to the road, spots Larry Beaker's patrol car on Grassy Key, and pulls over. Larry Beaker's uniformed back juts out from the top of the mangroves growing along the shoreline. Eric rounds the corner of a clump of vegetation to discover a private moment between Beaker and Jazzy. Jazzy lies on a towel near the water, dressed only in the barest of bikinis and a pair of sunglasses. Larry plucks white petals from a gardenia and drops them one by one on her abdomen. The last petal floats down to her torso and seems to wait for an answer. Jazzy brushes the flower fragments away like they are annoying insects and turns her face away from Larry. Eric decides he's seen too much already and quietly retreats to his car.
"Hey, Eric," Larry calls out. "Just the man I want to see."
"Yeah? I saw your car and wanted to know what's going on." Larry smiles broadly.
"Solve the burning traps case. Jazzy's dishwashers caved and confessed. They claim she told them to do it, but Jazzy denies it. You know how sexy Jazzy can act. I think their hormones got the best of them."
"So, what's going to happen?"
"The kids will go to juvie. I told them to never show their faces around here if they know what's good for them. The boys have no money for restitution. Javier's out of luck."
Eric drops his eyes. Tough break for Jav. Sounds like it's wrapped up. Larry cocks his head.
"For me it is. We may call you as a witness, and Jazzy's ticked off she has to find 2 dishwashers to replace them. Somehow she thinks you owe her since you're the sole witness. You know how hard it is to find young people to work."
Eric agrees as he nods. "Yep. Kids split for the mainland the morning after graduation." Catbait drags a broken trap into the cool shade of Stillwell Fisheries' processing room. Rod Stillwell looks up to acknowledge him and returns to finishing repair work on another.
"I hope Javier appreciates this,"
Rod wonders out loud.
"A gift well received is a blessing to the giver, yeah, man?"
Catbait answers. Rod chuckles at Catbait's simple wisdom.
"Yeah, that's the way the good Lord designed us."
Eric darkens the door, smiling broadly.
"Aren't you all finished?"
Rod smiles from the side of his mouth as Catbait delivers a short cackle. Catbait teases Eric.
"You sleep late, yeah, man?"
Eric stretches and flexes his arms.
"It took me a while to do my usual 200 one-arm push-ups."
They all share smiles.
"Ran into Beaker. The 2 kids at Good Springs burned the traps. They're going to juvie."
"Well, these traps should more or less settle this whole thing," Rod asserts. Outside, a Lincoln Continental pulls up. The prominent chrome grille reminds Eric of the recent movie about a black cocaine dealer. Rod exits to greet the driver in a black suit and tie while Eric saunters to the door to watch. He catches a few words and realizes this is the loan officer from Rod's bank who is presenting Rod with a folder of paper. Eric catches one of the suit's words, foreclosure. He thinks to himself the car is fitting for a banker. There's not much difference between peddling cocaine and loaning money. The banker pulls away and Rod re-enters the room. His mood is dark. Eric and Catbait get busy fixing traps, trying to ignore what could get explosive.
"Daddy!"
Catherine calls out halfway between the fishery and the house.
"Yes, Catherine?"
"Please come to the house. I need to speak to you," Catherine implores. A still fuming Rod walks with heavy steps out of the room and toward the house.
"Rod's acting like a pressure cooker about to explode,
Erric comments to Catbait.
Is it not understandable, man? Yeah, sometimes he's a little scary and mysterious,
Erric admits. Catbait sagely nods in agreement.
You know something else that's mysterious and scary, Catbait?
Catbait stops working to give Erric his full attention.
Women.
The wise old Bahamian smiles sagely.
Every man asks that question, no? So what's the answer?
With a twinkle in his eye and his smile growing ever wider, Catbait stares unblinking and slowly shakes his head no until Erric bursts out laughing. Catbait joins in. They are unaware of Rod walking quickly and determinedly into the fish house. Trailing Rod to the door, Catherine yells,
Daddy, no!
Erric stands like a deer in the headlights as Rod closes the last couple of steps in almost a single leap while cocking back his arm. He lands a solid, powerful punch to Eric's solar plexus. Erric pitches backwards as he doubles over in pain, landing on and demolishing a trap on the floor. Helpless, Catherine looks away, then back again. She's afraid to interfere. With barely contained anger, Rod points his finger at Erric.
You owe me my daughter's life.
Stillwell strides out with finality, ignoring everyone.
Sorry, Ricky.
Still doubled over on the ground with the wind knocked out of him, Erric struggles but manages a breathy squeak.
It's okay, Kath. He's right.
The aroma of boiling celery, bay leaves, black pepper, allspice, and key lime slices waft from the large pot in the corner of the processing room. Erric quietly watches Catbait stir the brew. Catbait breaks the silence.
You feel better, Mon? Yeah, I'm a little sore, but still upset. Lots going on. It all come out good, yeah, Mon? Ready for lobster?
Erric nods his head as Catbait pulls the lobster off ice. He holds the crustacean as a child would hold an airplane and does a little twirl in his feet like a youngster dancing. He puts the lobster through some barrel rolls, changes it deftly between his hands before suddenly plunging it headfirst into the roiling water.
Got to keep 'em guessing. Be sneaky, yeah, man? You know Goombay Summer? Heard of it? Never been.
Catbait pulls 2 beers out of the fridge and the men pop them open, raise them for a quick toast. He winks.
To Goombay Summer and those who sleep late next morning, yeah, man?
Eric's thoughts ferment a moment until his face brightens with an idea. The sound of a vehicle pulling up brings Erric back to the moment. Javier and his entire family drive up in a worn, early-model Ford pickup truck. Erric exits the building to greet them.
Welcome,
he jubilantly exclaims.
Buenos dias, senor.
Javier beams back and includes Catbait, who appears at the door. He points to each of his family.
This is my wife, Maria, holding our new babe, Nina.
He turns to the truck bed.
This is my son, Ernesto, and his younger brother, Pepito.
Erric smiles.
We got some traps for you. Let's get 'em loaded.
Erric and Catbait help Javier and his sons quickly stack the repaired traps in the truck like it's a joyful game. The family climbs back into the truck as Erric warmly smiles at Maria in the front seat, holding her precious newborn. Maria openly beams back as a proud mother. The classic image of maternal love noticeably touches Erric.
Please thank Senor Rod for this, por favor,
Javier says through the truck window.
Will do. Adios, amigo,
Erric says. As their truck chugs off down the pebble road, he breathes deeply, grateful that he has a good feeling in his gut for a change.